we're live, unmuting, and you ready, Dad?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2.
Happy Onewheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scot Mendenhall. We're excited. It's one day before Halloween. Hopefully you have your costume ideas picked out, ready to go. There's a Halloween competition happening. I think you only have a few hours left if you're unaware of it. You can get a costume thrown together, be on a one wheel, and bam, cast me out. You could win like a $500 discount. I don't know. I can't remember all the... But we got it here. Here's a Halloween costume party. The Halloween costume contest. Here you go. Post your look. Tag at Onewheel. Tune in for the winners. There you go. You got to tag them on Instagram. You can do YouTube or any of the other socials you got. Okay, so there you go. You got less than a couple hours to get it done. Okay, everybody. So make sure you do that. Thank you for hanging with us. I'm not alone. And today I woke up and I thought it was normal day. I was like, what are we going to talk about? There's not been any like drama around Onewheel Community for a while. Some of the things have been put to bay, it has felt like, over the last year or so. And all of a sudden I woke up today and poof, things seem to be erupting. Explosion in the community of something that I thought that had kind of disappeared, but it's back. It's back, and some of it was brought to us because of a very well-produced video that has hit the internet yesterday, and then Float Life tagged, and then that helped, and I haven't checked, but before we went on, like a couple hours ago, it had 4,000 views in less than 24 hours. So the conversation has been resurrected, if you will, about the big bad company Onewheel. I'm joined with my good friend Lily today.
What was your favorite Halloween costume you ever wore?
Are you just trying to not even get into that?
No, I know we're gonna get into it, but I like the topic of
the Halloween costume thing. My favorite Halloween costume when I was growing up. I gotta go with. I can't really remember any of my costumes except for I went as a St. Louis baseball Cardinal player, and I got an authentic jersey out of it, which my daughter now wears. That's the highlight for me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that was a Halloween costume.
It was a Halloween costume. I went like 3 years straight because it was awesome. But my mom had bought the authentic St. Louis Cardinals baseball jersey, and it cost so much she bought it like it was an actual like nightgown for me. And so that's why it fits my daughter today. I could put it on as well. Just tells you how little I really still have stayed. How about you? Look, you got a favorite one?
Not really.
What?
I when I was a kid, I loved my genie outfit. I had little genie like magical like little thing. It was so cute.
Okay, great. But now people haven't come here for a Halloween costume for sure. They're here because we got Boycott Future Motion. Is that the best plan? That's why people are here today. We are seeing some familiar faces in the chat and some news. So thanks for being here on this YouTube channel. We do cover the community of Onewheel. We cover from all sides, really. Now, we do have a position we land on most of the time on the topic. We are often called fanboys, fangirls of Onewheel. We get called out that we're employed by Onewheel. We've had an opportunity to interview some of the great employees there. And so people feel like our perception on this whole conversation is skewed. Maybe so. We have thoughts. We have opinions. I do know that a video was dropped. And we're not here to pick fight with anybody. I think the production of the video was awesome. So much time was spent on the video because it just really was. It was very engaging, very entertaining, very good editing skills. The narration was great. It was just overall a great conversation. But it was also giving details to a 2-year long kind of, it feels like it's been about 2 years in the making of Onewheel, gets this rap of suing everyone. So let's just start with those that are in the room. Lil, has Onewheel ever tried to sue you?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, okay. Holly's just joining us. Welcome back. She was doing mothering things.
Yep.
Okay, baby, has Onewheel ever tried to sue you?
No.
No.
Never.
No, but why is that? Why do you think they've never tried to sue us?
That's a good question.
What? That's an easy one to answer. We'll go to Lily, our professional in the legal manners around here. Lily, why do you think Onewheel hasn't tried to sue us?
we've done nothing wrong.
Whoa, we're not like infringing on any patents or infringing on legal things that you do as a company to make sure your plans survive and go through the distance, okay, of a maturing product and a maturing. And so when there are infringements on things that you file, and we've covered this, so the things we've learned is we've talked to people that are behind the patents, that when you file a patent, you also sign an agreement as an individual, a company, that you will make sure that if there are people infringing on your patent, that you will do what is necessary to get them to not infringe on the patent. Because if the patent is broken and somebody does something and somebody gets hurt or whatever, guess who they're coming for? So I know that's not, a lot of us, we don't have that information at hand. We don't know those things. And so I think when you get a patent, you're saying, I'm going to make sure for the time of the patent, the time of the trademark, that I'm going to do my due diligence to make sure that it is in good hands. I think at the end of the day, like if we got into a whole nother topic, you get the man, the myth, the legend, one of the GOATs in football, a quarterback, Tom Brady. He's trademarked his name. The NFL trademarked their name. They have all kinds of patents. They're getting sued, they're suing people. I worked with an organization that put the Super Bowl on a big screen and a couple thousand people came and watched. Guess what? We got a fine. And we were a tiny little organization. In light of the NFL, we were so teeny weeny. It was like, why in the world would you come after us? And the truth is, the reality is, because we broke the rules. And somebody, if you don't keep track of the rules, there's just going to be the Wild Wild West, and it's just out of control. Well, Holly's in here making some racket. We do got to say that we are not sponsored by these little wonderful things, but we have a great friend.
Yeah, and they're all different colors.
Different colors, and they blend your things. We should be sponsored at this point.
Yeah, right?
So we all have them. Thank you to Jacob and Melanie.
Jacob and Melanie. This is such a fun little
JM
toy.
Operations. You need a tree cut down in Minnesota. They're your people, okay?
That's right.
A small little plug for them. They have gifted these to us. They are indestructible. I have dropped them off my Jeep. It has gone down the road, and it still works. It's wonderful. And you know whose is whose. Lily has the yellow. I have the orange, and Holly's got the teal. So they're great.
I have the DeWalt version.
Yeah, that's what Lily said. If yours is the DeWalt version, mine must be the Halloween version, and Holly's is the winter version.
Sure.
No, I would say more springish. Well, I gotta point out one cool thing about this is that the handle. This thing is awesome. It's right.
Someone in the chat says he's cutting our tree right now.
What?
Jason, yeah, that's hilarious.
There you go. Look at that. We had no idea. That's just.
And also, Sean Paul says, my dad got sued by Trivial Pursuit because he started a company called Genius paper trays, making homemade paper with flowers pressed into it. How does that have anything to do with Trivial Pursuit, though?
Maybe that's your
Share your suing stories. These are interesting. If you feel comfortable.
And I'm not, but hear me. My heart goes out to anyone that's going to be sued. I think there's a formality most of the time. It's not straight to a sue. It's a little bit of a cease and desist on what you're doing. And if you're going to continue to push it, there's levels to this. And I love the community. If you're brand new around here and you're like, whoa, what are we talking about? This burning down, the whole community's on fire. No, this is just a segment of it. So much of a segment, there is a petition that has been going for quite a bit of times. And the video is talking about a company that has monopolized. I should have wrote down because I want you go watch it. We're not. Anyways, here's a petition. It right now has 1,659 verified signatures for a one-wheel right to repair. You see bottom left corner, they're the issues. And we just screen captured a few of the issues that they are trying to push for. If we can put those up to the next little image. There you go. We, the Onewheel Community, 1,650 some of that community, are reaching out to Future Motion with a request for improvements that will make the one-wheel riding safer, more accessible, and more enjoyable for everyone. Okay, so then you go down. They want to get rid of haptic buzz. They want an easier way to access battery and all these different things, which that's all kind of old news in there, some of it, because some of this is now you have the ability to, you have all the rights to repair your board. You order the parts from Onewheel, and boom, it's at your doorstep. If you're not tech savvy, you don't want to send it in for a fee to get it done. And it stays under your warranty. I just, this conversation is rearing its head. It's like, why are so many people want to pick a fight with Onewheel? Like, I get it. We want innovation, but aren't we getting that? I'm all for, man, I want people to create products, but I also want people, if I have a patent, I want somebody to be kind to the patent. Right. That's why I went and got the patent. Now, I know, here, the video does contain some information that is like, if you get your ear close enough to the train tracks, you start hearing tidbits here and there, but it's not all verifiable because you need Onewheel to verify it. So what it is we are just spreading more and more rumors. Like, this is what I heard. This is what I might hear. But we're not here. It's like, wait, what is happening here when we're just, it's like we're looking for a case to build against. Now, I know there's some real, like my story, like if I give you, like when people start to give your story on, well, this happened to me when I sent it in, it didn't go very fast. It wasn't, my board did this. I get it. There's all these outlying issues. But when you know how many boards have been sold, really, you don't have, the petition, if it's going to get some feet on it, it needs more than 1,600 people to sign that are verified. I think you can go through Reddit and find that. It's like I said, it's been for a while. And I get there's some people out there that don't feel they've been treated well by an organization. I understand that. That is a human trait. Like, if we're all honest, there are people in our lives that have offended us. And all I know is that when somebody offends me, it's on me to get over it, not them to change them. And so I think some of it, if I can get real up in your business, is like some of us got to just like, okay, I'm hurt by what they're not allowing me to do, but that doesn't mean I want to pick a fight with them. Am I wrong? Am I missing this here? Lily, when she knew the topic today, she's like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm. I just knew it was going to be drama. But I always love reading.
Well, guys, it was that or it was the election? Which one did you want?
Yeah, which one? Which one's more?
I always love reading what people contribute.
Yeah,
I love hearing your opinions. Apparently, that guy worked on that video for a year.
Yeah,
and his identity is known. He just did it just for the video.
Yeah, when you go through that, he shows his face. It wasn't out of... it's part of his persona on his YouTube channel as you kind of go through it. This is his first Onewheel video on YouTube that he's covering the float wheel. He bought a float wheel, and then he finds out that float wheel is being sued by Onewheel, and Onewheel has taken somehow in that process, I don't know all the details, but in the process, somehow it's been attached that Onewheel, through the suing process, has now gotten them to have to, Float Wheel had to drop their videos off of YouTube, so you can no longer find those on their YouTube channel. Their website had to be changed. The way they did payment had to change. And when I start seeing all those things, it just, from afar, okay, I don't know Float Wheel. I have rode float wheels, and they ride great. They have not shied away that they are taking and building on top of what Onewheel did. They would always use Onewheel as like, they did a poor job here. This is how we corrected it. Sometimes I don't enjoy when any company or people do that on other people. We leverage somebody else's faults to make ourselves look better. That's not attractive to me. I love innovation. Now somebody's going to go, well, the innovation, because this is where we always go in this conversation. And I'm really having a conversation with myself because I already know what everybody's going to say. Like, oh, but yeah, Float Wheel has all these products that Onewheel is creating. Yeah, you can see that. I don't know, I don't know if the Float Life has patents on their bang bumpers, which are wonderful bumpers. We have those sets around here. The design of those, the handle, the ergonomics, is that right? Ergonomics of their handles and everything are great. The colors you can get, wonderful. I'm not in the Float Life hasn't to my knowledge, sued Onewheel, so maybe there's not a patent going there. I don't know those details. We're aware of Onewheel because Onewheel is moving about, right? But if the Flow Life has a patent on some of the things they've created, because they're innovators over the Flow Life, I would hope that they would go after and fight for what they've created and gone and getting the patent. Now Holly and Lily are smiling quite large, so a comment must have dropped.
Just reading through, everybody's got their opinion. Everybody's got what they think is the right thing.
Sorry.
And it's everybody can see the comment of just being able to, all of these things, you can have a chance to get it done. If you have the ability to go and do it better or different, go for it.
But go get it.
You have to do it under the patent.
Right.
You gotta be, that's not Onewheel. That's not Future Motion's issue. That is America.
Yeah.
That's not something that they did. And I thought there was even something the last time we kind of talked about this. I may not know. I haven't done a ton of research on patents themselves. But once you have a patent, is it not something that you then do have to follow through with some of those things?
Yes, it is part of
and
the
so
agreement.
That's part of it. And so to say that someone gets a patent on something, it's not because it's because they want a patent on that thing. Who knows if they thought it was going to go bigger than what it was right then at the moment. But for the time being, there's a patent on it.
I love to dream. I love to have great ideas and execute those dreams. I love that we live in a country that allows us to do those things. And I think as people dream things and they start executing and winning, people almost want to now give it away. It's like, man, the organization, whatever that, I could use the Float Life. I think their innovation, their 5-inch hubs, and I think they're great. I love that they now offer them in all kinds of different colors. I think that they offer different magnets. Wonderful. But I don't look at Float Life and go, well, you just stole that idea from Onewheel Parts because Onewheel Parts was already doing that. I'm going, wonderful. If I have my choice, who would I go to the hubs? Well, we're not going to disclose that information right now because that's not what we're about. We're not talking about that right now. But, right, I want Float Life to succeed. I want Onewheel Parts to succeed. I want Craft and Ride to succeed. I want all of these different companies in our community to succeed. I don't want them to get vicious and try to squash. I hope Onewheel's not trying to squash the Float Life. To me, I get it. People talk about family's family and business is business, meaning business can trump respect and kindness to people. That's not what I'm suggesting is okay. I'm not in the closed doors of Onewheel. I don't get to see their heart in those things. I think when it comes down to patent stuff, I think that is a responsibility of patent owners to have to track that crap down. I think a lot of people, I remember helping somebody go to get patents done in Chicago, and then they realize, holy crap, I have to now track down everybody else. I don't want to do that. I just want to keep creating what I'm going to do over here. I don't want to have to go police the whole world if they're going to take my product and make it something else by a different name. And now I have to go. I don't have to hire a lawyer, so I'm not going to do that. And they walked out of the Chicago patent office, go, nope, that's not for me. Because it's not just protecting your invention. It's now policing the rest of the world and going, wait, that's fine. And it's interesting when you come to the Onewheel as a whole, there are Onewheel aftermarket companies that are giving cease and desist letters to people that are creating versions of what they have. But that's okay because it's not the big bad Onewheel company. And I'm not, and here, well, who is that? I know, but I don't want to be a part of that drama. I just hear it and I go, man, that's so interesting that's what would be transpiring in this conversation. I think, for everybody out there, here, this is my iPad. Every time I speak a ton in front of people on camera, this is the thing that's on the stage with me, and I have as many pieces of the community and brand I can, or brands in the Onewheel is on the back of my iPad. I want them all to succeed. I'm not down on one. I want Jeff to succeed at the Flow Life. I want him to succeed. The community is better off to have the float life running around.
For sure.
100%. The like I said, the innovation that's out there that they keep. I'm always excited to open up an email from them to see what they just created. But I also think that they are a part of the innovation of Onewheel. I think a lot of things get referred to in the skateboarding world and snowboarding world and all these, but we're looking back with present day circumstances and judging the past on a lot of those things of how it went and what it felt like and things of that nature. But what I do know is that you need a float life to be continuing to create what they're doing so that those products can ultimately be put into some of the one wheels or the float wheels or whatever wheel we're going to get, right? Like one of the perfect example, perfect might be a little strong because I'm not in closed doors, but when you have the Sure Start come out from the Float Life, that thing, we had them in all our boards. We loved that. That was, and still, I think half our boards still have them in there because it's like, it gives us that certainty, the surety that we're going to not lose engagement. But that technology got absorbed, right or wrong, I'm not behind closed doors, okay? But it got absorbed into an update that allows us all to have single zone or dual zone foot pads. But it was the innovation of Jeff's team that created that. Again, the 5-inch hub, one of those things is innovation coming from the Float Life. The tires. You can certainly link the Enduro tire to the new hybrid of one-wheel tires that hit the market, flooded. Even still treaded tires are like that, as the Enduro tire took the tread all the way over on the sidewalls. It changed the game. So I'm not looking for anyone to wipe anybody off the face of the earth. What I want, if I had a State of the Union address to the Onewheel community.
Well, you have a podcast, so
play
What's
by
the
the
difference?
rules. If everyone plays by the same rules, Onewheel included, wonderful. I don't feel like, again, I'm not in closed doors. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think Onewheel's wasting their time and money and energy with lawyers to go after some of these things if they don't feel like they're in the right spot. Or if it's an infringement on their patent. And I know the other conversation, Holly, this is what people would say. Well, they own so many different patents on some other technologies. They're
For
thinking
so
ahead.
many more years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So start thinking ahead. Maybe you never develop it, but go get the patent and then sell the patent. That's how it works, people. Okay, you're still snickering and smiling, girls, at the chat. I'm
I'm going to read Baylor's
Okay.
because I don't think you explicitly said this, so I'll just let you clear your name here.
Clear my name?
Well, clear what you mean. Baylor says, you think it's good that Onewheel is copying stuff that the Float Life and Onewheel parts makes and making it better, but you think it's bad for Float Wheel to take the float. I have to.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
Wow, that
I
was
was
so
trying
close. Like
to-
you almost made it through.
I was trying, and then I started to lose my vision a little.
What? From a sneeze?
But you think it's bad for Float Wheel to take the Onewheel and make it even better. So he's saying, or what you're saying is contradictory, but
Yep.
you didn't. I don't feel like you explicitly said that. So why don't you just explain?
Again, the thing where I'm coming from, that with Onewheel, they're not chasing down every little thing. It's when the patents are being jacked around with. That's what I'm trying to say here. It's the patents are the problem. That's the thing that's a driving force on the ones that are in the mainstream. There might be outliers that we're all unaware of that Onewheel's doing. I don't know those things. But when we're coming to Float Wheel, they're coming in leveraging a patent, saying, hey, look at, you're breaking, this is a patent infringement. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know. On the record, I don't know. Float Life has not come out and said they have a patent.
They might now.
Oh, they're in. Good thing. I want them
I love
in.
that. I love that you just say, "Sup, y'all? How's everyone doing?
Thank you.
What's
I
up,
hope
guys?
that-
What are we talking about?
I hope
just
that's-
got here. What are we talking about?
I hope that's Jeff. Because I
Jeff,
want...
they all love it when you join in. We all
Yeah,
love it.
people
We
are
love it.
going crazy.
Because the community is better with all of the players.
Did
all
you
of
finish
them.
what you were saying?
Yeah, I don't know who's got what patents. We're aware of the patents that Onewheel keeps going after. If Float Life has patents on the Sure Start, patents on their bang bumpers. I think they should be going, right? Don't sit idle on it. Protect what you are creating. I don't view that as being a bad guy.
If someone's like
it's
taking that same
protecting your
idea.
dream. I think, I think a documentary needs to be done on Jeff. I'll fly out there and film it with Jeff. How did he start the Float Life, and how's it gotten to where it is? Because there's a whole bunch of innovation coming out of there. There's so much great content video-wise coming out there.
And everybody that meets Jeff loves Jeff.
Yeah, a genuine, like everybody that works at the Float Life is amazing. I would not want any one of them to lose their job because of
Drama.
That's just the truth
yeah,
of it. So
yeah.
I am like, hey, if we all play by the same set of rules, that's I don't like the float wheel. If they're not infringing on any of the patents, let's go full throttle. Let's go all the way. But if they are, then don't jack around with the patents. Come up with a totally different way to do it. I'm not a lawyer. I don't sit in the courtrooms that do that. That would be really boring to me. Some of it is I just feel like, I wish we all could just get along. I got 8 kids. I'm trying to raise my kids, 8 of them, to get along. I haven't figured it out yet. The solution is go to bed early. They seem to fight less when they're sleeping.
Jeff says we've on purpose not enforced our WTF patent on other third-party manufacturers.
And again, I love that that's
who they are.
That's who they are. Right? Like,
But I feel like what people are going to say is, but then you also love Onewheel because that's who they are.
But Jeff is again, I can't speak for Jeff. We can have Jeff call in and he can talk. Right? But like, either it's a conviction of his, and that might be a real strong word, right? But or just, hey, this is a position we're going to take. They know what it feels like to get a cease and desist stuff. It doesn't feel good, so maybe they don't want to be like that. And maybe there's conversations behind closed doors that they have that is just like, hey, listen, can you, what do they call that? A gentleman's agreement. Like, hey, can we just...
Agree to disagree?
No, a gentleman's agreement is like we are agreeing on something without getting a legal document going.
Oh, got it.
Like we both agree that you'll no longer do this. Great, then we won't file any papers with you. But again, I'm not tracking down. I know you can do this. You can go see who has what patents and all those things.
It's hard to keep up with this chat.
Why is it just flying through the...
Some of these comments I have to read twice because I'm just trying to really understand what they're saying.
And some people are just joining us. Garrett was like, no way, you guys all have blender bottles. So Garrett, yes, we all have them. And he goes,
he said
he goes, make some noise.
Yeah,
My liquid's gone.
Literary drinkers.
I love this thing though. This thing is so fun.
Yeah, can we go back to the episode where she gave me crap about it?
I did not.
You did a wee bit.
I don't think I did. I just think I was like, wow, that was so cool that he bought you one of those.
Yeah, and then you're like,
that was so nice.
You were like shaking. A bug just flew at me. You were shaking your bottle, and you're like, I'm trying not to make noise.
I was, yeah.
And then you asked her if she had felt left out, and she was like, no.
Like right in front of the mic.
The thing is it makes it noise because of the ice. Once you get the ice out of there, mine
doesn't make much noise.
Like, we talk about a lot of things around here. We were talking about it at lunch. Holly's convinced now that she has hers that the aeration of the spinning makes everything taste so much better.
True. It makes me want to blend more things. But then that means buy more supplements, and that's just too much money.
Too much money. You got to save money for
I have some ideas
and
on
Sure
what
Starts.
I could buy. I saw something the other day, and I was like, oh. But then I was like, oh, that just got me. I don't even know if that's real. It was like about digestion or something.
What? All right, what's Jeff writing in there now? Have we confirmed it is Jeff?
He's talking about Burton.
He says Jeff. He said Jake Burton said trying to enforce his snowboard patent on his competitors was his biggest business regret ever.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, there are 2 hats I'm wearing here today. One side is a business hat of like, hey, if you're going to play business, here it is. But there's a larger thing in me that, for me, that would trump any business thing. And it is, I love people, and I'm not going to look to squash people or hurt people. I'm going to try to figure it out. That's me. That's why I don't have any patents. Maybe I don't have anything to patent. But I don't get offended maybe this is the closest thing. This has nothing to do with One Wheels, but of how I'm wired in it is Holly and I, with our firstborn child, we named him Legend. To my knowledge, I didn't know another Legend. This was an original idea with us. We wanted to name our kids that would inspire them to just get after life, that we think highly of them, that they can change the world. But every name our children have are names that you're earned in life. They're given by other people. No one, unless you're an arrogant individual, right? Like, for the most part, you don't go, I'm a legend. Anytime you hear somebody say, I'm a legend, and they're deeming themselves that, you kind of, like, your skin burns up a little bit. You're like, ooh, your hair. You're like, yeah, okay. But when somebody goes, oh, that person's a legend in that sport, or that was so legendary, you're deeming something by a mass of people. So we're always telling our kids, earn your name. We moved down to Miami area, and we are doing life with a bunch of new people.
Legend was 5 months old.
Yeah, he's 5 months old. Somebody that was on staff with us had a baby, and they named their child Legend. We could have been super offended by that, going, oh, no, we didn't have a patent. Maybe it's an unspoken, but it was like, there was zero, like, I was like, cool. They apologized after the fact. I was like, I have not thought one thing of it.
Kind of a funny story.
Great family. They're just wonderful. But I wasn't bummed. I wasn't annoyed. I didn't go, oh, I own that. It was like, awesome. I'm glad we could inspire you to do something. But that's the human part of me, okay? I think the conversation we have here is a bit of humanity and business, and it's hard when those two things I think, there are people out there that don't love people first, and so that's where patents, I think, come into play, is that, hey, some people are going to try to burn this down, and I think when you start taking a deep dive in this conversation, even our thumbnail of Boycott Future Motion, that's such a negative approach. It's almost like we would applaud if One Wheel went out of business. Like, when you're saying boycott One Wheel, what's the end results? That they would get hurt, right? I think if we want to see results in any of these things in the community, we got to have a different approach than the hashtag FFM, boycott Future Motion, all right? Different approach could result in different results. I don't know. I know that's not very popular. And I know when people are hurt, we hurt people. That's the saying. Hurting people hurt people. And that sucks. When I'm hurt, what do I want to do? I want to hurt other people. It's throttling down instead of throttling up. Okay, any other comments that are jumping off the page here?
I mean, I don't know that everything will ever be exactly eye to eye. I think there's just so many different things that aren't apples to apples.
Yeah. And I think, again, I love when Jeff, he was the first one to really point out their Burton story.
They did a whole video on that, didn't they?
Yeah, about a year ago, I think 11 months ago, Jeff did a great conversation taken from the documentary. I've been a Burton guy from day one in snowboarding. Their hoodies are amazing. Jake passed away a couple years ago, and I think you learn a lot through life, probably a lot by mistakes, and him admitting that, hey, that was not the best thing. I think, for a sport, I think that's what, who is the creator of the video that sparked the conversation today? I can't remember.
His name is Eric.
Eric?
I think Tyler was saying it in the chat at the beginning.
But, I think his produced video that is so well done has great points in it at times, and at times, it's that hearsay parts in it that you go, is that right? Accurate? One of the pieces he had in there was like, if you sell the Float Life products, you can't sell One Wheel stuff. But I think to combat a statement of that is look at Craft and Ride. They sell Float Life stuff and One Wheel stuff. That's the biggest illustration I have. I don't know if those that have their shop stuff, out of their garage or however they're running a store, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just taking what I saw there, but then Craft and Ride debunks a statement of that. I would hope that for a person that's trying to make a business helping sell products, they would be able to sell both. But I don't get to be in those business decisions, nor do I want to be in those business decisions. I have enough things. I have enough drama in my own life to sit there. I wish there was a common ground where it was like that some would go, oh yeah, wait, rights to repair. We've got a little bit more of the rights to repair. I don't think we'll ever get 100% we want. Again, Lily gave me emotion
No,
of.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm reading like Reddit forums.
That's great.
Like I'm just sucked in, but you're talking alone, so I feel bad.
What's the comment?
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, you
It's just like either I'm here or I'm here.
Oh, you
I
can't.
can't do both today.
Can't be doing both.
Well, there's just a lot. I mean, it's a detailed conversation. So, like, you're even in what you're sharing, how you view it is more detailed than normal. It's just not your average. And so that's how the comments are. They're just a little bit more detailed about the things, you know. Jeff has some great, lots of people have great points. Jeff, you're very kind in the way. He is very well worded. And so it's just figuring out who can sell it. And, you know, Jeff has some great ideas. Is that going to fix everything? I don't know. Other people have great ideas. Is that going to fix everything? I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those conversations. We've talked about this a lot, and it seems like never-ending circles.
Yeah, well, I do think some of it. I think I cannot remember where I said this, so this might be redundancy here. I'm going to use. I wish I had a better example that us in the United. I need a world example, but I don't have one. I got to use one that's in an American thing, and it's a political thing, and I'm not trying to get political, but it's the best example I got, and it's building some wall down that separates Mexico in the United States. I'm not here saying we should or shouldn't, but I do know that if we all talked about what we should do to build this wall, we'd all have 100 ideas, and it could be, I was in charge, right? It'd get done in the next 7 days. But that's because we're so far away from the thing that we don't actually know all the details. Once we got all the details, we would go, oh, that's complicated. Well, that's not just easy. Like when we go, when you go to fill out that rights to repair, what do we put that back up there? Would you one more time? The rights to repair. It's on Reddit. I should have never jumped on Reddit today. Mm-hmm. People are not the kindest towards me. Throw that up on the screen. The petition to Future Motion Onewheel right to repair. Almost 1,700 people have signed this thing.
What's verified signatures mean? Like
you must have a Reddit account. Somehow. In the video that you watch, it says this has picked up some speed. I don't know where to find that information. But listed down below is one of the things, haptic buzz. We would like a way for haptic buzz to go away. I think that's easy from a far, far away. But when you get into the nitty gritty and know all the details the government says it has to happen to allow Onewheels to still be created and be put out there, you're going to start going, oh, it's not that easy now. Oh, wow. Okay, I got you. That's more complicated. Now I see why we have haptic buzz instead of like, just turn it off. Update it so everybody can just have it. Or digital tilt. I have a feeling digital tilt is not happening. Like, I keep landing there. I'm going to be really surprised if it does. I have no...
It's not going to what?
It's not happening. We're not going to get digital tilt.
Oh.
From Onewheel inside the program. I think the fact that you have to send your board in to get their rails put on tells me it's not going to be something we download unless there's some great change or something. Maybe that's going to be a Christmas gift this year.
What if you know that the movie Invincible, when they did open tryouts?
Yeah.
And they just let anybody that wanted to come and try out, and Vince Mapali was the one guy that made it on. What if Future Motion did that? And anybody that wanted to come bring an innovation, they got to try out with Future Motion.
Maybe.
Because what happens in this conversation is it's like there's hard lines in lots of different directions. Like Future Motion can't control the whole thing because the sport won't grow. Maybe in past other things we've seen that sports won't grow unless you open it up, whatever. But this might be different too, you know. And it's the other side of it, like they come after, you know. It's.
I think that's two separate conversations.
I don't disagree with that.
Sports going to grow. go make more places to race.
There's other things that will make the sport grow, not necessarily this holding it back.
I think this conversation, because we won't let it go, is keeping the sport from growing. I mean, I just do. Because it keeps creates sides. As long as there's division, crap doesn't grow. Okay? It's got to come together. It's got to come together to see it succeed. But people, go throw more races together. Do group rides, right? Like, that's not killing the sport. I love the promotion that the Float Life had, and I was in it. I got sucked in with them running around promoting their group ride tomorrow night. It was awesome. It had Myers, Mike Myers, right? Isn't that who it is? Mm-hmm. Who it was? Running around with swords. So funny. Uh-huh. Like, they got me. Super crazy. I want that group ride to go really well tomorrow. And now I don't remember why I was bringing that up. But at the end of the day, I think as long as we're divided on all this stuff, it ain't going to go. It's not going to grow. Go make more races. That'll help the sport. Group rides, get involved in those. That's part of the community in sport. If you have a desire to make this sport in the Olympics, I've never heard Onewheel say that. If that's your dream, how are you helping do that? Bashing it is not going to get it there. What it's going to do is make people go, I'm going to buy a Onewheel, but I'm not getting involved in this drama. I got enough of my own.
Here, yeah. Jeff says this, and it's great. I think this sums up a lot. At the end of the day, Future Motion is in a really tough spot, and I think everyone should realize it's not super easy to be them. However, they seem to operate from a place of fear instead of a place of future vision.
Which would be great to hear Future Motion respond to. Like, instead of all of these comments, I would send that one and say, what's your response?
Here's what I want.
I think that also comes...
I want to mediate a conversation. Like a debate, in a sense.
They're not going to... Jeff's not a debater.
No, but I'm trying to set it up like
Neither is he. Probably have a conversation.
Right. I don't think they are. I just let them... Because then what that does, if they all get in a room, they are going to be able to squash some of the things that are being said. I think, again, people label us as the fanboys. And, man, it's funny that that's said. When we have so many boards around here that are all float life stuff. I mean, we really support as much as I think right now. All of our boards, but 2 have the float life tires on them. We are not looking to have a demise of anything. We're looking to celebrate everybody's innovation and stuff. And Jeff brings up a great point. Anytime anyone's coming from a heart of fear, I think that's going to make you do some things you naturally wouldn't do because you're going to try to protect what you got. And so...
but we don't even know if that's true.
No.
Because they're not here. They're not
No,
answering.
but that statement is a true statement for anyone. If you're, if you're functioning out of fear, you're not living life.
What I get, Jeff is probably, he said it. He's probably been in the room with them many, many times and had the opportunity to share. And Jeff, you do it very well. It's like you do it very well. You consider the other person,
not
the other
Reddit.
party.
On Reddit, they all told me I sucked today.
Well, but that's, there's lots of thoughts and lots of things thrown out here. And really the reality of it is we're not the ones with the skin in the game of, so unless, and Jeff is a huge part of this community, so has a lot in the game of the Onewheel world. So his comments, his thoughts, his ideas hold a little bit more clout.
Yeah.
Then others just do it this way and this will work. Will it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm trying to say with the wall analogy. We just say, just start laying bricks.
Yeah.
And it's like, right. It's not that easy. You just can't go do that. You can't just go open it up like the Wild Wild West. You just can't do that. And so once you get close to the matter, like Jeff's pretty close, he knows a lot of the details of it going, it's not just that easy. Now, the solution, even from afar, is to start to see baby steps in a direction. And again, if you look at Onewheel over the last year, there's been a lot of baby steps in a direction of right to repair and to keep Onewheels where we can purchase them and ride them. They got baby steps. We just wish they would jump to where we want them to be. But that's just... Most people can't do that in life. You can't jump in the deep end and just start swimming. You got to start in the baby pool. And so Onewheel's trying to figure it out. To my knowledge, this is their first company, and they're trying to figure it out. And we can all look at, they got millions and millions of dollars. Really? Like it seems like they're constantly dumping that money back in to create more products. And I'm not trying to get up in their business and what they're doing because I don't know. I try to come with facts and not what I see from afar. Obviously, I can look from afar in anybody's life and have an opinion, but I'm not going to go putting that on social media somewhere going, I think this is what's happening. It's like, no. At the end of the day, how do you help everybody win, right? Like, what? It's like with Float Life, when they drop a new product, we don't get any discounts by mentioning, hey, they just dropped a fully padded pair of pants that you can ride and be protected with adjustable knee pads and all these things in it, right? It's just us trying to dump into the community going, hey, if you're into that, here you go. You can find that here at the Float Life. Or when we talk about when they drop the new all black 5-inch hubs. I didn't get one of those, but we're trying to push you to a spot where we're helping to bring the community together. And we get pulled in that we're just one-wheel fanboys and girls, and that we work. You know how many times I read that today and read it? Oh, this guy, I can't handle his voice.
You should not.
What do you want me to talk like
I'll
this?
listen to, what was it? I'll listen to Jack, but not Scott.
Yeah, not to Scott. Jack, I can't.
Yeah, Reddit is absolutely crazy. I came across this podcast that literally just reads Reddit posts and like talk about it, and it's crazy what's on there. And if your name is on there, it's probably best that you just don't read it.
Yeah, well, I sucked in today a little bit, and then I stopped every bit. Basically, if I listened to everything from Reddit, I would stop everything and just live under a rock. That was basically the gist of it.
Move to Alaska.
And I was like, yeah, move to Alaska and live in the tundra. Somebody even in Reddit said Minnesota is not the tundra because they heard me make a statement, welcome to the tundra of Minnesota. That's all I got to say with that. But
It's a waste of time.
We at the end of the day, as I've gotten to meet Jeff more and more at races, love that guy. And I want him to succeed. And getting to hang with Jack and Laser and Bodie, and even to mention Bodie seems like a taboo word because it feels like it's just like, man, I wish he just didn't want to like that.
Poor Bodie.
He got brought into that video as well, which again is part of his story and stuff, but it probably doesn't make Bodie feel very well.
No, imagine how he feels.
It's like good or bad decisions. If it got played out on social media in a gist, I just don't think that makes other people feel 100%. And maybe, there was, hey, Bodie, do you care if I put this segment in here? Maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully.
That would be the right way to do it so that Bodie's not caught off guard.
Well, that's the thing with social media is you don't have to have to source.
We just
in your papers you do.
We shared this a lot on here, but like we also love the CrossFit world, and there was some drama in that world, and because of social media, you're making assumptions about things for a long time, and now finally this person was interviewed on a podcast and shared all pretty much, and as fans are like, oh, like that's so cool to hear her side of the story, but she's done so much hard work to get to a good spot in life, and there's certain people, and Bodie being one of them, that are just being like judged or talked about because of past decisions, and it's like, let's remember like where we've been, what we've been through, and where we've come from, like,
yeah,
and I didn't. I think they just told Bodie's story. I don't know if it was mainly like spoken of poorly. I think they told his story. But the problem with it is there's comments and like the ability for comments even here that like people can just share their opinions and rag on others or Reddit, and it's just like that does not help someone in the community no matter where they work. Yeah.
As we're just talking there, I just watching Craig James drop a comment, total lies in that part. What part are you talking about? Because
he's talking about the Bodie part.
He mentioned it earlier.
Oh, okay, sorry. I just saw that part. I was like, what part of it? Because it's almost an hour-long video and covers so many different topics. Like I said, I don't know the gentleman that made it. It is well produced. And it sparked conversation today. We shelved what we were going to do for today's podcast and just went to this because I just think, man, if the conversation's coming back up, let's keep talking about it. And maybe somewhere we come into the middle and we're like, yep, this is exactly where we need to land. I think to boycott anything, that's really dangerous. Unless this is where I could go to boycotting things. If that company or organization or person is physically, somebody's going to run with this one. But if they're doing harm, like gross test harm, and you have to... It would be like a toy company selling a teddy bear full of syringes. Oh, we probably should boycott that company, right? I got to go extreme where somebody will... right? Like, okay, that's not cool. No toddler should have a teddy bear with syringes inside it. If that's what you're going to do, that's not an accident. You ran a whole line of that in hopes to harm children. It's like, nope, let's boycott that. That's not where we're at. So I think we're gone too extreme, and that's where we're at in the world. Everything's got to be the extremes. It's got to be either way against you or way for you. It can't be somewhere in the... No, always want everybody to succeed and enjoy what they're doing and create something. It's so much fun to watch something succeed. It really
hope
is.
you all take a walk today without headphones because we all need to detox from this drama.
Are you getting overwhelmed?
No, but like I'm just thinking about
Some
how
people are really affected by it. Like that's the truth. Like this
some people
is
don't
really,
realize how affected they get by drama like this.
for sure.
Like you all like need to take a walk today or go on a one-wheel ride without headphones. Like just process your life because this is like ingesting this much drama is not good for you. Like Jeff, I will pray for you more because this is a lot to deal with. And you have
Because
a family
he
at
deals
home.
with drama?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's like the number one. He's the Float Life is the next biggest company to Onewheel. Like
Correct.
He's going to be dealing. He already is.
He deals
has
with it
been.
not just from this topic, but as an organization, Jeff has a lot that he has to deal with. He has employees. He has then what social media thinks of how he treats this and that. Right? We just don't have people that assume the best in people anymore. It's always assume the worst. And so it's like those that are writing comments about me in Reddit, they don't know me at all. I get that. And it's like, man, why are you like, I genuinely, we don't get paid to do this. We are just trying to have a space in a community that we genuinely love the people and being able to go out and rub shoulders with people, being able to film while we're at those places. It's been just a joy and a pleasure. And then if we're getting ragged on a little bit in this space, you got to imagine that Jeff is, and I is second with Lil. Like we often think about you out there in California, what you're trying to dream up and create and do. As an owner, taking care of your employees, dreaming up what's next and who to hire and what to create and what content. Just, it's a lot of work. And then you got you got a wife and you got a child and trying to figure out all that stuff. It is not easy. It's not easy. And so if we can be a spot of like just where you can come in and be slightly entertained, get some news at times and find out what new products are hitting there, there is a lull right now. I think this is what's happened, in my opinion. We've talked about it off camera a lot. The race for the rails done. New products are not dropping quite yet because we got one more week and you're going to start seeing the leaks because Black Friday is around the corner and that's where you're going to get the last round of innovation for the year. And then there will be a small lull and then we're going to get some more products dropped in the new year because race season will start to happen and you'll get some of that stuff in. But right now, of course, this bubbles up today because there's no new products to talk about right now. I think the last product, and I can be wrong on this, the last product to hit was new is the Float Life's Kevlar pants with the knee pads and the hip pads in them.
Woohoo!
Today I was on Float Life. I'm waiting for a black hub with N52 magnets in it. I can eat that thing up. That's why I'm waiting to go back to a 5-inch hub. They have talk about a monopoly. They have Float Life. They have so much product that everybody wants that they sell it too fast. It's just, I don't know if that's monopoly. That's not good. That was more of a joke. But I hope it all makes sense today. That maybe we got to slow her down. And I think the best way to, if you want to make a dent in any business situation, you speak with your money, not your words. Okay? If you want an organization to hear you, don't buy their product anymore and go buy the competitor. When that starts to happen more and more, it will shake and rattle those businesses and organizations to make changes. If there's go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I know, like, I think that's correct. Go buy the other and be happy with it and go do that. But then you cannot complain when you don't have a race or your other one is not accepted in a race, because that's a whole nother part of this. You have the sport, and then you just have the riding a one wheel of things, you know. So it just, I know that brings up a whole nother part. It just kind of keeps going. But I'm just thinking, like, a lot of times, like, maybe we've gotten a glimpse of it. When you think of the racing world, future motion of what it takes to put on that racing league. And I get that even the racer or the other people that put on their races that aren't future motion, they have to navigate, like, do we allow these vests? Do we allow these float wheels? Do we allow all of these things? You know, but ultimately it comes down, the big prize at the end of the year is from future motion. So it's like, you can't, put your money elsewhere. That's fine. Help the sport grow, but you then can't complain that you don't get to be in the race. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's up to all the
For sure.
organizers of the races, how they drive that. But at the end of the day, you might have just said that. I was reading some of the chats. Race Real, it's their race. It's One Wheel's race. They get to choose what it is. So if I did a race...
And at the moment, it's the biggest one everybody's going to try to get to. And you know what? They put it on so they can require what they want to require.
But here's the truth. If I'm a racer and I'm choosing to race a one wheel product, I don't want to race against a Vesk. I mean, I don't. Because of what, I don't know what they've tweaked and what battery run and all those things. So I get why you have the classifications and it's complicated and stuff. But I just, at the end of the day, I'm not suggesting anyone go buy a knockoff or any of those things, but instead of bashing and thinking our words are going to invoke change, it's really, I mean, businesses follow dollars. That's just the truth. And so if you think your lack of purchasing from them will make your point, then fine, do that. At the moment, and maybe we're bringing a light to the, even, I think we're we try to be as calculated as possible. What are we going to promote? What are we saying? Even by us putting up this petition, yes, we're poking a little bit at it, but we're also saying, hey, want to sign it? We've told you where to go do it. We didn't hide it, obscurity of it, like, oh, we don't let them know where it's at. We've told you where it is, where it's sitting for you to jump on and go sign it if you want. But currently, over a year's worth of that sitting on Reddit, you're at 1,655, I think that was at the time we took the screenshot. That was this morning on this Wednesday. No, that's not going to move anyone. That's not going to make me go, oh, it's going, this is an outlier problem that's just squawking really, really loud. And my perfect example of that, and how I'm going to end it, is we have 8 kids. When we had 7 kids and we brought a newborn in the house, that newborn was the littlest thing in the household. But it was the loudest thing and got our attention the most because it was just loud. This is a loud, small group of people that are making, right? Like, it's got to move past that to get bigger. But at the end of the day, One Wheel is making changes. They're making changes. If we want to ultimately make changes, let's simmer on the name calling and figure out how to do it where, I know I'm going to use a word that's not very popular these days, but how to do it out of love, respect, and honor towards somebody else. That is far, far from where we are as a world. I mean, shoot, I can't wait till the election here in the United States next week because I'm tired of seeing all the campaigns of how everybody just bashes everybody. I have no idea. I have no idea what anybody's actually standing for. I just know how bad that person dislikes the other person. It's like, cool. You just put that out in the world for everybody. It's like, what is going on? Okay. Any closing thoughts, Lily?
Go on that one, we'll ride.
I already
Take
went
a
on a one-wheel
breather.
ride. It was actually very nice.
Take a breather.
It was. I haven't been on my board very much lately, and I went and did a real short ride with my
That's
boys,
nice.
and it was nice.
Yeah, and you came in with two
And I
big
came
things
home
of
with
raw
2
honey.
gallons of honey.
Yeah, raw honey. It's a great find.
Good day.
I do, and I've been part of that, Jeff, where I've made the illustration of racing cars and things of that nature. And that's usually off a cuff for me. Jeff made a comment we should
That's
tie
a
it to
whole nother
downhill
topic.
mountain biking and things of that nature. I agree with that. I could go to my Ironman racing days. My bike had to be a certain specification. If not, I didn't get to race my bike. My shoes had to fit inside a certain category. Even now, as I try to race marathons and stuff, I can't ride or run with carbon plates in my soles if I want to be competitive and have a chance to podium and things like that. That's part of me playing in those sports. These are the rules. But the average Joe, they can. If they're not looking to podium, they're not looking to get any of the prize purse, they can run in the Nike shoes that have the carbon fiber plate in there. It's fine for them, but if not, if you're trying to podium. My bike had to weigh a certain amount. I had to turn my bike in at night. They weighed it. If they thought there was anything crazy about it, they literally would put my bike through an x-ray machine, and then I couldn't pick up my bike until after the race.
That is pretty crazy because they sit outside like they're
all night.
They're in
Rain.
these little racks
Yep.
and it's crazy because you think, oh, you would never want to do that. Your boards are so expensive, this and that. Those bikes were like $11,000. Yeah, just all the way up to who knows what. Like I just remember thinking, yeah, they just leave this stuff here and it's fine.
Yeah.
These people would keep talking.
Yeah,
Yes,
so but
we gotta go.
Yeah, man, I want to keep because I like what Jess says. I want to see Nico, Vestman, Luke, and Austin all race
racing.
together. What is that squeaking? It's a chair.
It's a chair.
It
sounded like a
child.
newborn baby.
Yeah, it sounded like a child was crying.
Well, then I was like, it's got to be a baby animal.
Yeah, what is going
Because
on?
I don't
There's
have a
weird sound in
newborn
the
anymore.
studio. Yeah, I do as well. But like in that race, are they all riding the same board?
That's what no
What?
one agrees with you about. But I just think that's your preference.
What, that everybody rides the same board?
No, that's your preference.
How's it not a fair race if I get to ride whatever I
Well,
want?
but Nico
Wow.
made the point that at Windman, people were racing against each other on different boards, and Luke still won on a GTS. So they were
Right.
just making that point.
Yeah, but when you get, that's because the skill levels, there's such a large, when you get all of those names that were just read right there, their skill levels are very, like, what are we testing here? The board or the racer?
Yeah.
That's, I guess,
that's
where-
what we want to see. That's why it'd be fun
Well,
to
if they all
watch.
have a vest, you're testing the board.
No, I think
mean-
if everyone's riding the same board, now you're seeing who's the better
Yes.
of the rider.
Yeah.
I don't care
if
what
it's
board
all-
they pick.
Yes.
I don't care what board you pick. It's like me and an Ironman on my bike. If I weigh less on my bike than the next guy, I have a massive advantage when riding. Yes, I can tweak my body down to it, but we're talking about the machine, the bike. I'm not talking about my body. I didn't have to be a weight class inside that.
On next week's podcast.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
going to be our, like that. You're right. I mean, that makes a big difference on how the races go or.
It
Yeah.
does. All right. To the Full Life, I hope you have a great group ride. Can't wait to see highlights from that. Promo video was spectacular. Thank you for great content, great products. It's been a joy to watch you from day one. The first thing we bought from you was, I have them right here. I've showed them once before. What were these? The plates. What did we call these? Jeff will know. First thing I ever bought from you right here with your logo on it. Being a part of that 2015 float plates, yeah. 2015, 14, 15, somewhere around there. Bought those and forever have been buying things from you guys and grateful for what you bring to the community. And I could go down the list, but I don't see Craft and Ride sitting in there, and they do their part. It's been fun to watch them grow as an organization and many, many more. And so just being a part of the conversation, give another voice And I hope I didn't offend anyone today. That wasn't we're not looking to pick a fight. We genuinely like people. And so at this point, if you're still watching, subscribe to the video or not to the channel.
We can, maybe we can leave this streaming for like a little bit so people can, if people want to keep talking.
You keep talking?
Yeah, so don't finish it.
Oh, but
unless you
we'll
don't
give you 60 seconds to wrap it up
there
afterwards.
There you go, wrap it up.
Because then this will just turn into a Reddit conversation. And,
well, that is true. People are saying bye. Mostly.
It's been a pleasure, everyone. Enjoy
Bye,
Halloween.
everybody.
Be safe out there. And we will see you guys next week on another great, compelling podcast, everyone. Bye.
Bye.